Okay, so getting into episode number 5. Yeah, this is episode number 5. Sorry, we're recording it straight after, so I forgot to introduce it. So welcome back. But let's get into R&D, because we've just been told by our engineer that some parts have failed quality control. So I want to know which one it is. And so far, the major one's still developing, which gets us right up there with Red Bull. No, not with Red Bull, with Mercedes in terms of the chassis. And then Aero, the Aero one was fine. But it's this one here on the engine where we need to develop. We're gonna improve it to 228. We really need to get this engine up and off the ground. Look how far down we are. You saw in the previous episode Baku, we just completely fluffed it. So we may as well put some points down here into the front wing again. Keep going with that, and then we can start to reduce the drag. But that's it for that. So let's get into the race, the weekend preview. Let's take a look. And Vettel leading the way, of course. Then new parts, weather forecast. It's going to be dry conditions all weekend, so we can just get straight into qualifying here at Spain and see what we can do. Right, so we've had a fault. Lubrication system fault. Repair time 2 minutes, which is not good. But it's okay. We can get in, we can do our car setup, stuff like that. Go for this standard setup here. In terms of the power unit, is it going to be worth switching out the gearbox? Maybe 17%. Oh, we've got a practice gearbox and an event gearbox. Okay, I didn't realise that. I didn't realise that. Right then, so we're out on track here at Spain. So we'll see what we're able to do then. Ooh. Massive kick of oversteer, but we're on the track acclimatization program then, so hopefully we can do a little bit better than we did at Baku. So let's see if we can push for a better result. Come around the final corner then. So what I've noticed so far from that opening lap, we're getting a lot of oversteer, a lot of oversteer. So maybe we could do something about the setup. Maybe we put a little bit more aero on the wings. That's all I've been changing really. I haven't really changed suspension, nothing like that. But I probably should get to doing that. So we're coming out on track. We're going to be doing the fuel saving program. Not that I need to practice saving fuel, but just to get the points. What I've done about the oversteer problem is I've put on an extra bit of wing on the rear, so we're running 4 or 5 wings now. So that should, and it feels a lot better already. So should be okay for oversteer now. So let's get into this lap. So we weren't quite able to do that on the first lap, so we'll try again. Coming around the final corner, we're only just going to do it by like thousandths of a second, but we managed to do that program. I will take that. I will take that. So let's get into some qualifying practice. Make sure we're up to scratch for qualifying, and then see what we can do in the actual qualifying session. Come around the final corner then, we're 1/2 tenths of a second above the time we need. Isn't what we need, but we'll go again. We'll try again. See what we can do this time around. Actually, I've just noticed, look how much tyre we've used. This is going to be a very high tyre wear track, so we're going to have to come in if we want to redo this program, but I'm just going to get straight into qualifying. I feel like we should be okay. Okay, so Fernando Alonso got 5th place in the end. He always does around here. His home track does well, but we did well actually. But we were on the super soft tyre, so it kind of doesn't really count. So we didn't get a proper representative time. But tyre wear is going to be a massive problem around here. I might go for the hardest compound during the race that we can put on, but we'll see. Right, so here in qualifying, what are we going to be able to do in qualifying? This is a big question. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, obviously, until we get out. So let's see then. Should we head out on track now, or should we wait for a few times to be set? I might wait a little bit. We're only really going to get enough time for 1 run. No, 2 runs we should get. So let's head out on track. By the time we get out, there will be people setting time, so we can get out there. So let's get out on track. Right then, so we're here for the start of our qualifying session today here at Spain. Going to be picking up the DRS, of course, at the start of this lap. We're in hot lap mode 5. And maximum fuel load, so let's get into this opening lap. Here we go then, around the final corner. We're still struggling with a little bit of oversteer, but it might be the cool conditions causing that, and we've run up 1 position behind Fernando Alonso again. Why can't we beat him? He's such a tough teammate to beat. But we're not exactly having a bad start to this career mode. We're having a really good start, but so is Fernando Alonso, and because of that, we're both developing the car, and it's going well. So, taking a look at the timings, and you can see we are half a tenth off of Fernando Alonso. Half a tenth of a second. That is really good. Half a tenth of a second, I would take that. But we are 0.8 of a second off of Kimi Raikkonen, who's currently fastest. So this McLaren car working well around here. Obviously we're down on power. I've noticed that at the end of the straights we're down on power, but we're doing okay through the corners, and it's really proving it here. So this could be an opportunity to get some good points and actually beat Fernando Alonso. So what we're going to do, accelerate the time a little bit, and then we're going to get back out on track and see what we can do. Right then. We have half a tenth of a second to make up to Fernando Alonso. We've got Carlos Sainz behind us to watch out for, but let's get out there and let's pump in the fastest lap time we can produce. Come through the final chicane then. We are a couple of tenths up on our previous lap time, and it might be enough to jump us up ahead of our teammate Fernando Alonso in the standings, and it is. We leapfrog him into the end of this session. Now if we retire now, is it enough? Is it enough to keep us ahead and keep on to 6th place? That's all I want to do, beat our teammate. That's all we have to do today. So you can see we did manage to beat him. 0.2 of a second quicker we are, and we're actually quicker fractionally than Daniel Ricciardo. So we're right up there with the Red Bull, so we could have a good chance of getting ourselves a good result. I doubt we're going to get a top 4 finish, but maybe if we can nick 5th place off of Max Verstappen, that'd be something to aim for. So let's get into the race. So we're still losing both our rivalries, but we're clawing in Kevin Magnussen and also Fernando Alonso, so we should be fine for them. Get ourselves some resource points. Get ourselves a bit more rep with all the teams as well. That's good. And maybe we could start to negotiate with other teams. I don't know. But I'm happy with McLaren and where we are at the minute. But do let me know down in the comments, should I be moving around teams or should I stay with McLaren for this season?
Joins me again for the race today. Now I want to ask you about Sergio Perez. They're in for a tough race today. They'll be starting out of position due to a penalty from earlier in the weekend.
It's unfortunate, but it happens to everyone at some point. You just have to accept your fate, knuckle down and get on with the business of making up that deficit during the Grand Prix. So they'll be pushing hard today. One to watch for sure.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Raikkonen, Max Verstappen, the Professor, Ricciardo, Alonso, Sainz, and Kevin Magnussen.
Right, so here we are then for the race. Race strategy, I don't think I'm going to change it. I think we're going to roll with this one for now, although I did talk about going on to the mediums at some point, but we'll see. We have to use the tyres we started on, but if we have to come in early, we might have to go on to the mediums. But I don't know. So let's get into the race then and see how we get on at the start. Right then, so here we are. I'm going to get into the ERS mode. I'm going to put it into high, gives that a little bit extra boost. And then let's see as we lights out. And we're off. Get a fairly decent start, although Fernando Alonso coming up our inside. Well, we're on the inside. He's coming up our outside. Can we hold on? Coming up the inside, trying to maintain 6th place. There's someone on our inside and have knocked us out wide, and it's Fernando Alonso. What has happened there? So let's take a replay off of the start of the Grand Prix. Coming up the inside, I think Fernando Alonso ran out of room maybe, and he clipped the back of us. Or did the Renault hit him into us? Yes, the Renault hit him into us. And now he's all the way back there, and he's actually lost some of his front wing. So if we take a look from behind at what happened, it's riding on board Carlos Sainz. He's on the outside of him, and there just isn't room, and we 3 of us come to one, and Fernando being in the middle are lost out. So unfortunately that's his race ruined, I imagine, because if you look behind, well, when we look behind, he'd lost some of his wing. He was in the barrier, but now we've got to see if we can keep touch with these Red Bulls, or do they have too much race pace for us? I don't know, but this is a bit of a surprise result for us, and McLaren, I bet we're hoping for 2 solid finishes, but Fernando Alonso all the way in last place now. so it's not going to be good for him. So maybe we'll be able to push on for a top 5. And we're in the dirt. Yeah, we're up wide. Oh, that was close, that was. So coming across to end lap number 1 then. I've got it in hot lap mode just to try and defend from Carlos Sainz. He's got a fantastic run. I don't know how he's got this run. How has he got such a good run?
The engine is going to be down slightly. It's showing
Oh.
some minor wear.
So the engineer's just confirmed to us there's a slight wear on the engine, 53% on the ICE, so we're going to be down on power, which is not what we need now. We were doing well, and now I've noticed the lack of power. And it's a bit more obvious now, so probably that's why we were down on power a little bit this race. But let's keep going, let's stick with Sainz. We're not going to let it affect us. I want to get that 7th place there, sort of a best of the rest position, and ourselves, Haas and Renault going to be fighting for that position. Come through this little technical section, we've got ourselves into the low ERS deployment. We can put it back up to rich as we're going to be coming on the straight. And then through this final chicane, let's see if we get a decent run out of the chicane. Get the deployment up. We're just absolutely revving it and spinning up the rears. Just not what we need. Let's use hot lap mode.
We're approaching the pit window.
So,
Be on the softs.
approaching the pit window when we're going to be pitting lap number 5. I think I might pit a lap early, but I'm not sure yet. And Grosjean's come around our outside, so we're really down on power. Carlos Sainz is getting away if we're not careful. Keep it in hot lap mode. We're going to keep up the pressure because we're getting a bit of a run out of there onto the back of him. Going to keep the ERS deployment up. Right on the back of him now. Come on. Let's keep the momentum going. Keep pushing. Ooh, he's going a bit slowly through there. Put it into overtake mode. Let's see if we can get an overtake done. Right on the back of him. Pick up the DRS as well. Should be a nice simple move, although we're having to go around the outside going the long way. Try and hold it. Side by side still. Give him the room. And we get the job done. Taking a replay of this move. I don't know why we're in this weird behind the helmet view. I want to get a bit of an outside view. Can't really see much of what's going on. But maybe the Renault did. So here we are then. Taking a replay, you can see we have to go to the outside. Try and hold it. We managed to actually hold it around the outside, which is good. Had to give him the space though. And then had to give him the space because he was slightly on the inside for the next corner. But we got the job done in the end. Here we are on the straight then. Carlos Sainz, sorry, moving the mic there. But Carlos Sainz is going to go clean past us. So is Romain Grosjean. They are so much quicker. I didn't bother defending with anything. They had the DRS. I was just trying to save it and then I can get past. I wasn't expecting to have to get past 2 of them though. But I can try and get back past them. Do what we did in the previous lap. Use a bit more of the battery. We almost collide with the back of Grosjean there. We're struggling with the oversteer. There's the kick of oversteer I was on about. Bit of a random time for it to happen then, but I think we're just too aggressive on the accelerator. Get into hot lap mode. Can we go for a move up the inside?
Getting a bit worn at this point. You may notice a gradual loss in grip. They should still have a bit left though.
Okay, the tyres are starting to get a bit worn apparently according to our engineer. We're going to have to run the tyres though a bit longer. So, coming across the line then, we're just slightly outside the DRS zone, but here comes Romain Grosjean on us. He's going to try up the inside, but we're going to have to hold it deeper than we'd like. Compromise our run out of here, but we're going to keep it ahead of him, which is what matters. Turn the ERS down. And what's the gap now to Carlos Sainz? 1.6 seconds is the gap to Carlos Sainz, so let's see if we can reduce that before we come into the pits then. So we're going to be coming in the pits then after this final chicane. I believe Carlos Sainz is coming in the pits as well. Yes, he is. So we're on the same strategy. And so the cars behind... Oh no, they stayed out actually. So Grosjean stayed out. We've got Magnussen in behind us. He's our rival, of course. Then we've got a teammate who I'm not sure where he is at the minute, but Carlos... Oh, that wasn't Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is in the pits there. He's going to be held up here, so maybe this is going to help us out. Maybe we can jump him still. If not, we'll be a lot closer and we're coming out the pits. No, we're just behind him. Oh, that's annoying. We could have jumped him, but we're a lot closer than where we were before, so I'll take that. So we've been sat in behind Carlos Sainz for a lap now, and we've got everyone else coming to the pits. So it should give us a chance to start pushing onto the back of him. I've been saving up the ERS a bit. Here's Romain Grosjean, though. We've got to deal with him.
Fernando's in the pits.
Cut in front of him. There we go. Job done. A bit dangerous, actually. We could have made a collision, but Fernando's in the pits as well, so he's obviously been running around here in probably last place with that damage he's got. So here goes Carlos Sainz around the outside of Sorokin. We're going to get stuck behind Sorokin now if we're not careful. Hopefully we don't lose any time to him, but we go, oh my god, look how slow he is through there. He's on the old tyres, of course. I'm going to have to come up the inside of him. Oh, he's not giving us any room. Oh, we're trying to get around the outside here. Oh, this has really compromised our run. Lost us so much time, that did. Oh, and that's annoying. Grosjean's going to be right on the back of us. But saying that, look how far away Carlos Sainz has gone now. We've got to deal with Romain Grosjean, who's got an absolutely incredible run on us there. Wow, that DRS is so powerful. We're trying to get the run out of here. Let's go up the inside. Slingshot it up the inside. Very aggressive on Grosjean. Okay, so the damage has got to 55% on the ICE. I shouldn't say damage, just to say wear. So, and the gearbox is getting pretty worn now, so we might start to get some problems. We're going to be down on power, which is probably why Grosjean's able to get right up to the back of us.
15.0 seconds.
So 2 seconds is the gap to Carlos Sainz, and let's see if we can push on this lap and see if we can catch up. So Lewis Hamilton, the engineer's just telling me, he's having a problem with his car, so he's going to be slowing down, which is going to gift us a free position, which is going to be good for us. Obviously not good for him. So comes the end of this lap. We have actually been catching up to Carlos Sainz. We've got the gap down to 1.3 from 2 seconds. So going to turn this. Been using the ERS quite effectively actually. Managing to put it into low at the end of the lap and to charge up the battery for the rest of the lap. And it seems to be going all right. So we're going to keep on the pressure. 7 laps to go. Still a while to go in this race. But I don't think we'll have to pit again. Well, we might have to. I'm not sure. We'll monitor it, but we are actually catching up to Carlos Sainz, so we're going to keep on pushing. So we've picked up the DRS this time round on Carlos Sainz, so I'm not going to use any ERS. The DRS will just bring us forward naturally. So I've got it in low ERS deployment just to try and charge up the battery then for the next lap, which has been the tactic. I've been using it over the past few laps and it's been going quite well actually, so we're going to keep using it, and we're now catching up to Lewis Hamilton, who obviously does have a problem. He must have some wear on his engine or something. Not like Mercedes to have that sort of problem, but Mercedes are really struggling this year in this game. Put that ERS deployment up. Only to medium for now, because we've got the DRS, but we're not able to gain at all. Not able to gain at all on Carlos Sainz down that front straight. So we're very, very vulnerable on the straight. But he's catching up now to the back of Lewis Hamilton, so maybe that will help us get right on the back of him, but we're a bit low on charge for the battery, so I'm going to have to start being more conservative with it and start charging it up a bit so we can mount an attack towards the end, get the job done, and see what we can do then over the next few laps. But it looks like Sainz is going to be going for the move on Lewis Hamilton any minute now. He's going to be picking up the DRS as well, which will help him, which isn't good for us because we were using it to gain on him. And we're going to get caught behind Lewis Hamilton right in the wrong moment. And what is going on here? They're getting into all sorts of trouble, and Carlos Sainz can't find his way past Lewis Hamilton. And we've almost, well, we're at risk of crashing here. We're up the inside of Hamilton. Oh, keep it up the inside. There we go. Job done. So Lewis Hamilton isn't having the best of seasons so far. And Carlos Sainz made a mess of, well, he probably made a proper meal of getting ahead of him. So we're going to use this opportunity to try and get the job done on Carlos Sainz. We've got the DRS rich mix and ERS deployment mode 5 to try and actually gain on him. We're going to go up the inside. Oh yes, look at that, up the inside. Job done on Carlos Sainz. And now let's see if we can keep pushing then. Ericsson's out of the race, so hopefully no safety car because I'm enjoying this so far. But if the safety car does come out, we're going to pit, definitely. So yellow flags are out. It must be, yeah, there's Ericsson. He must have failed a engine part or something like that, but we're out wide. But Grosjean is now ahead of Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton, so they've been battling it out back there. And Carlos Sainz has really struggled to get past Lewis Hamilton here, so that's a bit. He's made a proper meal of it, and he's still. Well, no, he's ahead of him now, but he was behind him for ages, and he lost out to Romain Grosjean for that. If I was Renault, I wouldn't be happy with Sainz right now, but luckily we're not with McLaren, but we do have a Renault engine, and it's not going well at all for us. We're down on power, and it's slow anyway, so engine is the way we're going to focus our R&D. But for now, let's keep on pushing and try and bring 6th place home for the team. So we're coming on to lap 14. We've still got another, what, 3 laps to go maybe. And look at the tyres, 36% on the front left. It's really harsh track on the front left tyre. And Romain Grosjean has now come to play. So can we hold on to 6th place? Or will this Haas car behind us be able to get the move on us? I'm going to try keep him at bay for as long as possible, but it's going to be tough. We're down on power as it is. Never mind, he's got a Ferrari engine too, so let's just see what happens. So here comes Romain Grosjean. Look at him. Look at the power he's got. The overrun. He's just decided to climb right in the back of us. I think he's lost some of his wing. That was some of his wing that went flying there. Let's take a replay of that. Why would he... I was going to the inside. In fact, let's just take a look from his point of view. I was going to the inside. Why would he go to the... What? That made no sense, but that's compromised him completely. But that's his own fault, because if we take a look, I was already going to the inside. Why would he try there? There's a masses of room there to the left, so why would he come across? I was covering the line, and I suppose that's what happens when you do that. So maybe that's going to give us a chance to hold on to 6th place. Through no fault of our own. Grosjean done that. He's a bit silly for doing that. Why would he do that? He had so much overspeed. So let's see now if the gap will naturally pull out, because this is a very downforce intense track, as you see. That's probably why we're doing okay in this McLaren. We're doing more than okay. We're 6th place right now. It's an absolute dream for McLaren, but we're just not able to push for the top 6. Well, the top 5, it's always going to be off the cards, because one of the top 6 drivers will be sort of have a mechanical problem like Hamilton right now, which leaves it being a top 5, but we're never able to keep that pace that they've got. It's absolutely crazy. So that's one thing I want to do, try and reduce the gap to the top 3, the big 3 teams over the course of this season. So Grosjean has now fallen behind Lewis Hamilton, so we've now got Lewis Hamilton behind us, so he seems to have picked up the pace a little bit. We've got 2 laps to go just to keep him at bay. I'm going to be charging up this battery for the final lap, so we've got it to defend if we need to. If not, I'm going to not use it, because I don't want to damage the, well, put extra wear on the engine if we don't need to, and the electronic parts. But let's keep on going. If we could bring it home for 6th place, this would be fantastic. But it looks like Lewis Hamilton's found a last bit of pace as he's gained so much through that first sector. Our tyres, look at it, the front left is absolutely dead. So that might be why he caught up through there, because there's that long right-hander. But Hamilton's right behind us, so let's see what happens. So we've got Hamilton to worry about. He's found a last bit of pace, or our tyres have completely gone. We've got enough rich mix. And we've got this hot lap mode to use, but here comes Lewis Hamilton. He's going to come flying around the outside. If we're not careful, we need to make sure we can get him back. Right, okay. We've got this last lap to get back ahead of Lewis Hamilton, but look at that through turn 1. There's no grip on these tyres. We've been demoted to 7th place right now, but come on. Let's keep going. Use the rest of this battery up. But through the right-handers, we've got no grip. Oh, the car's just not turning in. Oh, I know I've run deep as well. So, we're being told to turn down to mix 2, but we've got enough fuel to get to the end of this race, I can tell you that. Oh, oversteer, come on. We've got it in the maximum ERS deployment mode. But it isn't going to be enough. We've got the DRS as well, but look how far behind we are. Oh, we're just not able to do it. We're so close, but I just think it's down to the grip in this McLaren. Oh, you see, we can't turn it at all. Yeah, we've passed the 50% mark on the tyre and it's gone, oh, it's gone horrible. Can't get it round the right hander, just struggling, so we lose out in the end to Lewis Hamilton. But I suppose it's Lewis Hamilton at the end of the day, in the fastest car in the grid, or one of the fastest cars. But there we go, we come home for 7th place, a very good result, matching probably, I think it's our best result of the season, or matching it at least. So Sebastian Vettel took another win. That's 4 out of 5 he's taken the win for. He obviously didn't the last one because he DNF, well, he got disqualified. Kimi Raikkonen 7th, so the Ferraris are so good. Mercedes haven't taken a single win yet. They're struggling out here, but we've dropped down from 6th to 7th, but you know, there wasn't a lot we could really do about that. I mean, Hamilton, we're not going to beat Hamilton, are we really, even with a problem, but where's our teammate finish in the end then? 17th, so we recorded 17th, that's good. So let's take a look at the standings then. You can see we've now hopped ahead of our teammate. We're now 22 points, 2 points behind of Kevin Magnussen. So if we can get that 7th place spot, that is going to be the aim. So we've actually done a lot better than I anticipated at the start of this career mode, but it's down to where we've put the development. I think we've been fortunate to have no development problems really. I mean, this mid pack is just so close. I mean, it's Renault, Haas, McLaren, sometimes Force India. I mean, they're a bit slow at the minute. Sauber a bit slow and Williams a bit slow. So we're in a battle with the midfield teams, which is good. So taking a look at constructors then. Still ahead of Force India. Obviously, they got the really good results at the last round, which is Baku, which is why they're right up there. But that's going to do it for today's race. Let's get into the data center, see if we've got any interviews, stuff like that. Oh, we got a bit of showmanship there.
That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you?
Heated, I love a good fight. Oh, showmanship. Oh.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Okay, so a good little interview there with Claire, the journalist. Right then, take a look at the rivalry. We are still losing the rivalry to Fernando Alonso. He got the fastest lap. We're drawing Kevin Magnussen though. I don't get how. Okay, how did Fernando get a faster lap than us? I don't know, but strange one. But there we go. Let's see if we got a bit more rep now with McLaren. Yeah, way more rep. That's good for us. That's a good one. And now Ferrari and Mercedes and Aston Martin, Red Bull, we're losing rep with them. Why are we losing rep with them? That's not what we want. So we're moving towards a bit more towards showmanship after that interview. We start to get a little bit heated in the interview room.
We've received invitations to new historic events. You'll be able to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this weekend.
So this is the next invitational event, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get straight into the next weekend. So if you guys did enjoy this episode, then do remember to give the video a like. I really appreciate all the support as well so far over this series so far. So if you are new as well to the channel, then do make sure you subscribe for more, and we will see you in the next one.